Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. Strap in, it could be a bumpy ride. We're going to take a look at the 2022 predictions and just kind of get an idea of where things are. I've kind of written down some things that I thought we might take a look at, and I thought we would kind of focus on some countries in the world, but if other things, worldly things, come in, then we can take a look at those as well. So I thought we would look at the USA in terms of politics, economy, the COVID, climate change, and so on. And same thing for Russia, China, and Canada, of course. Of course, I'd like to know that. I also thought we would take a look at a couple of the world leaders, primarily Queen Elizabeth. Kind of want to check in and see how she's doing and how things are there, and just check in with see what the energy is like for Prince Charles, William, and maybe take a look at Prince Andrew as well. I'm not feeling very confident about him, so we might as well take a look, and we'll try to keep it as upbeat as we can. However, if things come up, well, forewarned is forearmed, right? Okay, so before we get into the nitty gritty of things, I wanted to say, thank you to all of you subscribers who are with me and who offer me the encouragement that I need to keep going. And I simply love knowing that you're there. And I love the opportunity to be able to provide you with some knowledge that is beneficial to you. So, with that in mind, as I said, thank you for being there. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. It really does help. As I'm trying to increase the subscriber base so that I can do more with the channel. So if you're patient with me, I'll be patient with you. How's that? So, as I said, subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends, make a comment. I read each and every one of them, and I really enjoy the comments that you leave and the suggestions that you have. So, also, I am booking readings for, I was going to say 2022. For this year, yes, I am booking personal readings. They're all done over the phone, via phone chat or video chat, and primarily over Zoom, so that I can see you, you can see me, we can have a lovely exchange. So I am booking into this year. So if you want to reach out and get more information on the readings and how they're done and what happens, you could reach me at heartcenteredtarot@outlook.com. So I'll have the in the description. My mind just kind of went for a vacation there for a second. Yes, I'll have the contact information down in the description, so you can find it there, and I'd be more than happy to do a reading for anyone out there. Okay, so now let's get started. First thing that I'd like to do is, of course, say my reading prayer. If you're so inclined, join along with me If it's not your cup of tea, that's just fine too. Plug your ears and go la 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 until we're finished, and see you in a couple minutes. Okay, so deep breath in and out. I call on my guides, ancestors, angels, and ascended masters to protect me as I receive and deliver the messages from Universal Spirit. May this reading and the messages provided be guided by and delivered with love, clarity, and truth. Reveal to me what should be known now, and keep from me what should remain secret. Guide me to always manifest the highest possible good for myself, my spiritual family, and humanity at large. Amen. Okay, take your ears up. So, I thought that we would start with a message from Spirit, message from the universe. And for that, this time around, I was sort of guided to take a look at, to take a look at the Divine Guidance cards. And, excuse me, these are by Sherilyn Harnish. There you go. And just to sort of, get an indication of what Spirit would like to concentrate on and what messages Spirit might have for us. So I did shuffle all these beforehand, but I always like to give it one final touch. Okay, well, the first one that kind of popped out is gratitude. You see on the bottom, I had to write on each and every one of them because I could not remember all of them. So, gratitude and cellular healing and heart, mind. Very, very nice. Very nice. It's funny that I always find so much wisdom in the cards that come out. Because they do seem to focus on exactly what it is that I'm feeling at the moment, or I'm concentrating on, or things that are coming to me, and very, very much so. So the first card, gratitude. In all things, give gratitude. The more that you give, the more that you can receive. The more that you share, the more you will have. And it's kind of it's something that you have to wrap your brain around a little bit. Excuse me. Because we have, for a good many generations, we have thought that if I have to hold on to what I have, because it was a feeling of there's a finite amount of anything out there. And once it's gone, it's gone. There is no more of it. You can't get any more of it. So I better get mine before anybody else does, so that I know I have it. And we've kind of learned that that's not the case. The things that are truly important are limitless. The things that really are at our core, at our cellular level, that are part of our heart and our mind, are things that that there is always an abundance of. And you've heard me say this before. There is an infinite amount of love, of compassion, of caring, of sharing, of giving, Um, those are things that if you stop to think, and here's another way to maybe look at it if you hadn't thought of it this way. Okay. When you're on your deathbed and you're ready to go, and you have that moment of consciousness, how many of you will say, I wish I had bought that Mercedes? Or, I should have upgraded to that huge house. I should have invested more money in the stock market. I'm willing to bet that for most of you, you're not going to be thinking about that. You're going to be thinking about your loved ones. You're going to be thinking about the memories that you shared. You're going to remember and be thinking about the feelings, the compassion, the love, the being with family, being with friends. So that's what you're going to be thinking about. And there is an infinite amount of that. So the more that we live in gratitude, the more that we are grateful for what we have, the more that we will receive. Right? It's the law of attraction. It's the what you concentrate on, what you think about. Even when you're not fully aware that you're thinking about it, what you let into your head is what you manifest. Because the universe at every opportunity wants to prove you right. You are a child of the universe. You are a child of spirit. You are a divine being having a human experience here on earth. Everything is designed to work in your favor. So, when you think gratitude, when you think compassion, you will attract gratitude and compassion. The same way that, and we all know somebody like this. They walk around and they have that proverbial cloud over top of their head, right? That if you say to them, how are you doing? We are having fantastic weather, so far this year. Yeah, well, wait until the rain comes and then, that'll drown everything. Or wait until the summer. You can't live through the heat. It's going to be a hot one. I'll tell you that much. And they're always wondering and always complaining that, well, if it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all because nothing ever works out for me. I went for this job. It was a great job, and I was sure I had it. And then at the last minute, no, they gave it to somebody else. So, nothing good ever happens to me. And those people, I kind of smile and I think, oh, you poor child. Nothing good happens to you because you expect nothing good to happen. So the universe wants to prove you right. You have no luck. The universe says, okay, I'm on it. I'll show you in every way, shape, or form that you are an unlucky person. So it's like you manifest your own destiny. So think about that. Think about that going forward, that you are what you think. You are what you have in your heart, and you are what you think in your mind. And if you find yourself having those negative thoughts, it doesn't mean, live in a fantasy world. But alter your thinking so that you can live realistically in a positive way. Okay? So, look for the bright side. Look for the good side. Concentrate on that. There's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. And, none of us really know what tomorrow is going to bring. So, why can it not bring something wonderful? Why not? Is it going to hurt you to think that tomorrow is going to be a fantastic day? Give it a try. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at some of the 2022 predictions. So, excuse me, I've got some incense burning. I've got a candle. I'm all set, and every once in a while, the smoke from the incense comes at me and just goes right down my throat. So, excuse me. Sparkling water, fantastic stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at the U.S. and let's see. Do we have any surprises coming in the U.S.? Anything that we should know about that maybe we're not concentrating on? So, are there any surprises? Let's see. 9 of Cups, 4 of Wands, the Star, the Hermit, and the 8 of Swords. So, I think the U.S. is actually going to be doing quite well without too many surprises or upheavals. I think there's going to be an opportunity for people to spend a little more time in self-reflection and finding ways to sort of get out of your own way. Being a little more creative with how you look at things. And it's funny, like what I just said with the divine guidance cards is, free yourself from that negative thinking, right? You just have to look at the situation differently, right? If you look at this card, whoops, where am I going? She does not have a single sword in front of her. She can walk forward. So she may be surrounded, but she's not enclosed by the swords. All she has to do is take off the blindfold to see where she has to step. So, be a little creative, be a little willing to see things from a different perspective. Be willing to make changes, right? And the best way to do that is, with the self-reflection, with kind of going inward and spending time with yourself. It's never time wasted when you spend time with yourself, when you spend time with spirit, it's never wasted. It's always for your benefit. And in the center of the reading, we have the Star. The highlight. Everything is going to be all right. A very positive card. And so, here you are, the Merchant, right? There's the U.S., I should say. The Merchant, right? Sort of sitting back and saying, yeah, you know what? Business is good. Business is good. Things are fine. We're celebrating, right? We're celebrating. So, I think that even though it might sometimes look a little bleak, don't react. Take a deep breath. Think about it. Look at it from all the angles. And I think that you will find there are solutions. There are solutions that are there. Absolutely. And in terms of the economy, let's take a look at the economy. The Magician. Yeah, you can make it whatever you want. And we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the King of Pentacles. We have the Page of Cups. And we have the Lovers, the commitments. So, what I'm getting from this is it's really not the gloom and doom that that people are talking about. I think the economy is going to I think it's going to do well. It may start off in sort of, small steps. This is this is a page, but he's followed by the king. So, small steps now will yield higher returns down the road. And, people will be happier. They'll be able to relax a little, and things will absolutely get better. The contracts with other nations, contracts between the states, and so on. New innovative ways to do things. I think it's going to be very positive. So, I'm glad it's not gloom and doom. I'm really glad that these cards that came out because I'm very happy with them. Okay, let me put these back, and then we'll take a look at the health of the U.S. and we'll see what else comes up. So I hope you all had a lovely New Year's celebration, and you were able to meet with the people you love and the people who love you. So yeah, I kind of had a very, very quiet New Year's, in my younger days, New Year's was going to be, it was a 3-day party. That's what it was. And the older I get, the quieter it is, and the earlier I'm in bed. So, yeah. So if there is anyone out there at midnight who is banging pots and pans, or there's fireworks going off, yours truly is just underneath the covers and not part of it. Still. Okay, let's take a look at health in the U.S. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the King of Pentacles. We've got the King of Swords. We've got the Four of Cups. And we've got the Queen of Cups. Okay. things health-wise, I think that more and more people are realizing that that vaccinations are necessary and they're working. And really and truly, the only people who are taking up hospital beds are the unvaccinated. The majority of the people that are dying are the unvaccinated. You can tell yourself whatever it is that you want. The bottom line is the vaccines work. So if you're unvaccinated, you're taking the risk of getting sick and dying is much more than the risk of whatever you might have heard. And really and truly, a lot of the things that are being said out there about, what's in the vaccine, what and so on, I always take everything with a grain of salt. And I always ask myself, how possible is this? And then you make your decision. And I have always said, as much as I have a right to my opinion, and as much as I feel that vaccinations are working and they're important, my opinion has no more, no less value than your opinion does of, no, I'd rather not do it. So, we can chit chat, we can talk about it, we can do whatever. We can disagree, and I respect the fact that we can disagree because that's what we do as adults, right? So I think more and more the truth of the vaccines, meaning the vaccine itself, is being shown to the people who say, no, I'd rather not. No, I'd rather not. They're seeing that, it's not very often that you hear now that a fully vaccinated person has died of COVID. It really, I can't remember the last time that I heard that a fully vaccinated person has died of COVID. So once you see and are willing to take a look at the other cups, you'll see that there might be other solutions and other ways to look at what you've done. And yeah, the Queen of Cups, she's the one where you sort of have to investigate, right? Because she is the only one that has a cup that is closed. So she's not showing you everything, but she's giving you enough so that you can make your own decision. So I think in terms of COVID, there might be a few little spikes here and there, but more and more people are going to realize that in order to be able to look after their families, the finances, the pentacles, and so on, in order to be able to provide for their families, to look after their families, they're going to have to make some changes about COVID. And I think that they're going to come around and realize that, maybe that is the way to go. So I'm very glad to see that. And, I look forward to that because it's always, after a big event, right, there's a surge. And you say, well, okay, why? Why the surge? Well, you can kind of trace it back, right? If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So there's that. Okay, in terms of climate change, what are we looking for in climate change? Yeah, howling at the moon. There are still people, and the Eight of Swords, there are still people who just absolutely refuse to see what they don't want to see. The Six of Pentacles, working on your craft, and this is what I've done. I've been a coal miner all my life, and my daddy been a coal miner, and his daddy before him been a coal miner, and that's what we do. Well, things have to change. And here you go. You're looking at those things and saying, huh, I wonder. And the Four of Swords. Kind of being quiet, being left out. So I think in terms of climate change, howling at the moon and saying, no, it's not real is not going to serve anyone. And those people who are kind of pushing that narrative are going to find themselves very much hemmed in and having to sit back and look at what they have produced and look at what they are leaving behind, and it doesn't look good. So I think they are going to come around, and I think that they are going to see that climate change is real. You got to do something, because at this point, you're going to be part of the solution or you're going to be part of the problem. And if you're digging your heels in and you want to be part of the problem, you're going to have to explain it to someone, and particularly your grandchildren. They're going to want to know. When the time came to make that decision, what side of the fence were you on? We can't always be right. Well, we can do the best that we have with what we know. And in order to do that, we have to educate ourselves. And educating ourselves more than anything else means being willing to look at information that makes you uncomfortable. And having the maturity to say, oh, wait a minute, I was wrong. I didn't know this beforehand, but now I do. Changing your mind is never a sign of weakness. In fact, it's a sign of strength. It's a sign of character to be able to say, you know what? I hadn't considered that. So, maybe I should be looking at things differently. Right? Looking at things differently. Okay. So, let's take a look at Russia. The politics and the economy and what COVID is doing. Oh, COVID is hurting very, very much of Russia. Okay, I had a couple cards fall out. And the Magician and the Eight of Swords. So yeah, they're trying very, very hard to say, no, nothing to see here, folks. It's not the case. Okay. So, Russia, what are you up to? How many is that? 8 of Wands. We've got 10 of Wands. We've got the 3 of Hearts. The Moon. And the 2 of Cups. Oh, Russia, Russia, Russia. Or more importantly, Putin, Putin, Putin. Things are not looking good I think I said in one of my previous videos that um, that I felt that Putin was losing um, some of his power, that there were those inside the Duma, inside the um, in his associate circle, who want to see him removed. And this is just confirmation to me that things are not well politically in Russia. That the idea of Putin being the strong man, I'm going to call the shots, and you can't do this to us because the consequences are going to be catastrophic and whatever. Yeah, it's heartbreaking, and it's heartbreaking for him because he has put himself in such a corner that the burden he's carrying is one that, yeah, it's going to be almost impossible for him to handle. He has talked about, and he has spent a great deal of time living in the past, in their version of Make America Great Again is Make Russia Great Again, going back to the way that things were, and having control of the land and expansion and so on. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. What he's doing right now is, howling at the moon, and I think a lot of the world leaders see that and are trying to, yeah, okay, Putin, sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah, come on over, we'll have coffee, it's okay, we'll talk, right? But it's like he's the drunk uncle at Christmas, right? Where before he shows up, he will have been drinking. He's going to tell the same story over and over and over again, several times to every person there. That he's going to say something inappropriate about Aunt Martha. And yeah, he's going to have some comment about, your husband or wife, the lowlife, and going to pile his plate full of food, eat without any table manners, and then pass out in the living room. And wake up a few hours later and go, oh, what happened? So, politically, I do not think that things are going to work out very well for Russia. I think they're going to try to flex their muscle, but it's really not going to work. And Putin may very well want to cross the border into the Ukraine, but I have a feeling that there are people behind the scenes who are going to kind of ensure that doesn't happen, or if it begins to happen, that it's 3 soldiers on a horse or something like that. So yeah, politically not good. Economically, what are you doing? The Sun, the Ace of Cups. This is the Queen of Swords. This is the Knight of Swords. And the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Economically, they want the world to see them as being a superpower, and they talk a lot about what they have and their emotions and so on. They are kind of like a reverse pyramid, where, if it isn't absolutely balanced, it'll tip one side or the other. And this is kind of where I'm feeling that things are. The Queen of Swords is like, to me, it's the absolute truth, and yet the truth is coming out about where their finances are, who has the money, who has control of the money. And once that information starts to come to light, okay, once that information begins to appear, it's coming in fast and furious. And it's not going to be good. Economically, I think that Russia is in a very precarious position. And if anything, if they are going to try to get into the Ukraine, they may do it to try to get money out of the Ukraine. Or I'm kind of getting a feeling that I could see Putin talking to Biden and saying, listen, if you tell your friends that if they invest a little more in Russia, if there's a little more money coming into Russia, maybe I don't go into the Ukraine. When what he really means is, buddy, I'm broke. Can you spare time? Can you toss me some cash? So, no, I do not see anything good economically for Russia. Even with contracts and deals that they might be making with, let's say, China, it's not to their advantage. They're basically trying to stay afloat because most of the money is in the hands of the very, very few. That's what I mean by reverse pyramid. The majority of the people, that are on top here don't have anything. And the further down you go, that's where the wealth is concentrated in just those few people. Well, if things start to crumble, boom, that's it. It's gone. So, not looking good for Russia. Okay, let me pick these up and we'll take a look then at very quickly we'll look at COVID in Russia. And we're at 43 minutes. So you know what? Before this turns into a 7-hour rant, we'll see if we can't hurry it up a little. So okay. Russia with COVID. We have the, what is that? The 8 of Wands. We have the 7 of Swords, Thief in the Night. We have the 5 of Swords, Insult to Injury. We have Death, Ending. And we have the Page of Swords. Yeah, like I said earlier, I think that in terms of COVID, things are not very good in Russia at all. I think they're hiding the information, and I think it is going to. They're not going to be able to hide it for much longer. Again, just like with the economic information, I think that information is going to come out about the COVID results and how they have been manipulated. And when the information comes, I think it's going to be, and they're going to be doing a lot of self-protection and no, it wasn't. That's not what happened. It's like the person died because they accidentally fell out of a window, because, you know how often that happens, right? Especially in Russia. So I think they're fudging their numbers, and I think it's only going to get worse. And it's not going to get any better until the people who have access to the vaccines start talking. They're the ones that are going to be able to show where the vaccines should have gone and where they didn't go and what they were sold for. Because don't kid yourself, there is vaccine in Russia. It's not only a matter of who you are, but how much you have and how much you're willing to spend on that vaccine. So, in other words, the teeny tiny people at the top. Okay, so China. Let's take a look at China in terms of politics. And you know what? I'm switching to my cards for that, because they're, I see my cards as almost as precious, if that makes any sense. I like to use them, and I like to use them respectfully. So when I'm doing a reading, and if I'm guided to use the other tarot cards or oracle cards, I will do that until I kind of feel that little tap on the shoulder that says, okay. So, all right, China, politics and economy, maybe, and sorrow and anxiety, secrets revealed, no, lucky charms. Okay, politically, how are things going in 2022 for China? And they might get a few lucky breaks, and they're going to be able to control the narrative on some things, but ultimately things are up in the air with maybe. There is a lot of anxiety and sorrow about the things that will be revealed about the party. It's not going to be anything that people are going to, they're going to be surprised when they hear it. They're going to realize the manipulation. And there might be a few of them that are going to be able to kind of talk their way out of it. There will be a lucky few, but for the most part, I think the secrets of the party will be revealed. China tries to appear very, very strong. I think their mistake is they have spread themselves too thin. They have laid the foundation for what is expected of them in the world for so long that trying to change that now is pretty much impossible. I see a lot of turmoil, a lot of businesses closing down, a rise in their unemployment numbers, they can't sustain what they have been trying to control and sustain for all these years. I think that's part of the secrets revealed, is in the involvement that the government has in the manipulation of the currency, and that most people are not as rich as they think they are. Okay, and excuse me. As soon as I said that, it felt like somebody was trying to choke me, like, shut up, shut up, shut up. Yeah, if you think I'm going to shut up, you don't know me very well. Okay. Economically, how are they doing? Economically, well, they're trying to celebrate. And they're telling everyone that everything is just as fantastic as could be. Forgive. We're going to take baby steps to get to where we need to go. Don't listen to the news that you hear, because it's all false news and so on, and turmoil. So economically, again, it's no, we're having a celebration. We are doing so well. It's amazing how well we're doing. No one will believe how well we're doing. And if we're not doing that well, it's not our fault. We've had so many other countries default, and so yeah. And like I said, yeah, taking baby steps to try to reverse things, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I think, Secrets Revealed is going to be part of the false friends, the guys who were telling you, no, it's all good, you should invest here, you should invest there. No, I think it's nothing but turmoil. Nothing but turmoil. And with COVID, let's keep going. We've got challenges ahead. Accept the truth. Less than 3 months. Prosperity and good fortune. And addiction. Challenges and roadblocks is they started something that they thought they could control, and it got out of hand. So they have to accept the truth of what they have done. I think what they have done and the steps that they have taken is part of the Secrets Revealed, and we're going to find out in less than 3 months that, as I said before, that the fortune, the prosperity that people thought they had, didn't have. This falls. I'll show you. when I lay them, sort of on top of each other. This, where are you? Yeah, this like this. Okay, there we go. That's how they come out. So no prosperity due to false friend. So and addiction, turmoil. Yeah, the the addiction to power, the addiction to um, what the illusion that we want to create. You can only do that for so long. So, I don't think that 2022 is going to be a banner year for China. Now, having said that, okay, let's take a look at Canada and see what we have. Talk amongst yourselves. Are furry hats attractive or not? Pick a side. Discuss. Okay, I'm back. Did you settle it? Do you know what it is? Are they attractive or not? Yep. Depends. Depends on your hairstyle. Some are very attractive. Some are scary. Okay. Canada. Politics and economics. False friend. Oops, sorry about that. Patience. Expect delays. Secrets revealed. Synchronicity. Okay. So, politics. Well, secrets revealed could be information about our leaders. I'm not getting anything on anyone specific, but it's sort of trying to line things up with the synchronicity to if you see this and then you see this, you can expect to see this and this and this. That kind of synchronicity, which may or may not be true. It's going to take some patience to get to the end of it. Yeah, we can expect to see some delays in getting all the information out. And false friend. And you know, I'm feeling that this doesn't have anything to do with Trudeau. I think that this is one of the other party leaders that is going to be something in their past is going to be exposed. And it is not going to be good. So politically, 2022 for Canada is going to be a little bit of a tumultuous year where information is going to come out that we may not like. Okay, economically, well, there's family. Maybe connect the dots. Next year, Next year is in 2022 or next year is in 2023? I mean, we're so close, you know. Next year in challenges and roadblocks. So, economically, I think that families are going to be okay. It's definitely going to be a struggle. Um, some are going to be struggling a little more than others. And a matter of connecting the dots could also be in terms of the vaccinations. I'm kind of when I look at that, it reminds me almost of the injections. So I think that things will probably yeah, I think that it's going to be challenging in 2022. I think family is going to be very, very important and central to do the things that we do. And we're going to need to reconnect with that family in order to go forward. I'm just feeling I'm just feeling confusion. Okay, in terms of COVID, beyond the veil, kind of looking at the past, answers come in dreams, joy, dog park energy. I'll explain that one for those of you that don't know. And ask again. Okay, so maybe things are still up in the air in terms of COVID. Okay, so beyond the veil is sort of the things that you can't see, which of course, yeah, COVID isn't something that you can see. There is joy, however, so things are going to get better if we're being joyful. And okay, the dog park energy is, and I've said before, that's probably one of my favorite cards. And that, if you have ever been to a dog park, you know that there is certain rules and regulations, whether spoken or unspoken, that everybody follows, right? So you get inside the dog park, dogs go off leash, and they run, they play, they do whatever it is that they do in like doggy heaven on earth, right? Every once in a while, there is a dog that comes in that doesn't share the same energy that the rest of the dogs do. This sort of calm. We came here to play. This is where we run. This is where we do these things. A dog will come in with a different energy, maybe a little more aggressive, maybe a little more assertive, whatever. The other dogs will very quickly pick up on that energy, and one of these will approach the new dog, generally, kind of bark at them a few times, like, hey, you pay attention to the rules. If the dog doesn't accept that correction, the other dogs will immediately come in and they will bark. They will try to make the new dog be submissive. And they do that to teach that new dog that this is the energy that we have here. We come here to play, to have a good time, to do whatever it is that we dogs do, right? The new dog accepts that correction, says, okay, get it, got it. Those are the rules. Okay, I'm cool. They don't fight that correction. And the dogs that did the correction don't kind of stand over top of them and go, yeah, told you, right? That's the dog park energy, is being able to, in a conflict or in any situation where there's two opposing sides, sort of to be able to come together, to accept the correction that is being given. No, this is how things are done. And then, oh, okay, sorry, didn't know. Now, what do we do after that? We forget about what just happened and we carry on and we do the play and we do the chases and we do the running and the wrestling and everything else, right? So it is a good energy. And I see it as, because my question was in terms of COVID, that, you know, this is, again, in terms of the vaccinations, being able to say, okay, you know what, maybe I should vaccinate my kids for their safety, whatever. Maybe it should be done. And accepting and being accepted, excuse me, for the fact that you have changed your mind. It's okay to change your mind. It's not written in stone, you know, and if you do change your mind, no one should be on top of you saying, ha, should have done it last year. And it's like, yeah, well, maybe you should have started your diet last year. How's that? So, I know, it's not a very loving thing, but, you know, you could think it in your head and then just kind of say, no, I'm sorry. Anyway. So, yeah, I think Canada is, we're going to have a challenging year. And people are going to kind of come to terms with what they have to do in terms of helping the economy and doing the vaccinations. And yeah, politically, we're going to have a little bit of upheaval about things that we learn about some of our leaders. So, you know, they are human, right? They are human. And they make mistakes like we do, and just like we have to accept the fact that sometimes we have made a mistake, and, you know, we have to take responsibility and hopefully learn from it. They have to do the same thing, right? So there's that. Okay. I want to take very briefly here, we're at 1 hour 9 minutes. Didn't know I could talk for so long. Want to take a look at Queen Elizabeth. Oh. She does not wish to be talked about. Okay, so Queen Elizabeth. Will she abdicate the throne? Secrets revealed. That kind of answers my second question. Okay. Synchronicity. Surprise. Lucky charms. Turmoil. Okay. My next question was, will she abdicate to Charles or William? So, I'm not getting a solid yes. What I am getting is secrets revealed, surprise, lucky charms, turmoil, and synchronicity. So immediately what that tells me is she will not abdicate. However, when she does pass away, it will be revealed that the throne will go to William, and that's going to be quite the surprise for a number of people. And it is going to cause some turmoil with some of the people in the status quo who expect and might have been promised certain things by Charles. But I don't know that we're going to have a King Charles. I think we might go to a King William. And I think that she would base her decision on the fact that she would want a long period of continuity for her country. She would want there to be someone who can still be guided if need be, but someone who will provide that continuity and that stability for a long period of time. William can still rely on the advice of his father. However, if Charles were to take the throne, what are we looking at? 20, maybe 30 years. And then, throne changes again. Whereas William could probably provide that continuity for 50, 60 years. So I would hazard to guess that maybe what her thinking is. And that's what would be revealed when she passes. Okay. And finally, in third, I hate it when the train that goes between my head and my mouth stops at these unmanned crossings and forgets to tell me, and then comes out of my mouth. In terms of Prince Andrew, is he going to be sort of shut away from the royal family? Is he going to be very slowly pushed aside? Yes. Okay, thank you. Do I need to pull any more cards? Institutions. Oh my goodness. New career. This is my sort of balance card. And baby steps. Ooh. Yeah, I think he is going to be pushed out. And institutions to me is, like government building, hospital, prison, new career. Well, that would definitely, yeah, being a prisoner would definitely be a new career. Although they might institutionalize him in like a hospital and say he's gravely ill or so on, just to save face. So Prince Andrew, not looking good at all. I think maybe you better start preparing for a new residence. And I think he is going to at some point have to answer for his involvement with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and the girls. I think he was definitely part of that group. So, alrighty, okay. Before this goes any further, those are some of these things that I'm seeing, and some of the predictions, if you want to call them those predictions, for 2022. And I hope that later on this coming week, I'm going to get on and I'm going to try to do the astrological sort of week or weeks, month ahead, and see where things are. And maybe I'll start it off with the sort of the elements first, like combine the air signs and the earth signs and whatnot, and do a general overall reading with those and see how those go. And then depending on what those bring, then maybe do individual ones. That could happen too. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the evening. And remember, think good thoughts for 2022. And imagine the future that you want to have. And then go out and make it happen. Okay. Take care. Love you all. Be good. Until I see you again. Bye.